In January 2019, medical journal Lancet published a study showing that air pollution claimed 1.7 million Indian lives in 2019 alone. But why is there so much pollution in North India? If we look at the charts showing concentration of PM 2.5, it reaches all-time high in October and November every year. Well, this is because of stubble burning in Haryana and Punjab. Paddy residue is set on fire to clear out the ground for next crop. But this practice of burning residue wasn't followed until 2009. Enters the Green Revolution.
The Green Revolution is a bloodless battle. It's the fight against famine and the fight for improved agricultural production.
Paddy was not an important crop in Punjab, but it became one. From a mere 7.1% of cropped area in 1973 to 36% of cropped area in 2013 in Punjab. In turn, the high water intensive paddy shrunk the Punjab's and Haryana's water table rapidly. In March 2009, Haryana notified the Haryana Preservation of Subsoil Water Act to protect their rapidly shrinking groundwater level by forcing farmers to delay sowing by prohibiting nursery sowing and transplanting paddy until May 10. It put a penalty of Rs 10,000 per hectare a month and added the cost of destroying sown or transplanted paddy on the expense of farmer responsible. Delayed sowing led to delayed harvesting and left very little time to ready soil bed for sowing wheat, forcing farmers to burn the paddy residue in the field. But what about all year around? Agricultural fires add 1 to 40% in October and November, on arrival of winters only. If we look at the data of a whole year in Delhi, burning of waste including plastic produces toxic and carcinogenic emissions. About 80% of municipal solid is still discarded into the open dumping yards and landfills in India. In Delhi alone, around 5,300 tons of PM10 and 7,550 tons of PM 2.5 are generated every year from the burning of garbage and other municipal solid waste. The transportation sector is also the main contributor of pollutants. Look at this graph. Transportation sector grew from 25 lakhs to 103.5 lakhs in Delhi alone, many of which operate on poor quality fuel, which led to high traffic emissions and rise of dust particles in atmosphere. Over the last few decades, India has witnessed large-scale industrialization. This has degraded the air quality in most urban cities. The red category factories which contribute most to air pollution includes sectors such as manufacturing of automobile, lubricating oils, and paper and pulp. There are 154 such industries around Delhi which falls under the red category. In the urban areas, power cuts are severe, and those times needs are usually supplemented by diesel generators. 310,000 towers consumed over 2 billion liters of diesel in 2010. The use of generator sets is even higher in the rural areas, where they are mostly utilized for the pumping water in the agricultural lands. The major share of India's rural population continues to rely on cow dung cakes, biomass, charcoal, or wood as the primary fuel for cooking and other energy purposes. These lead to severe implications of air quality, especially the indoor air quality. Another major source of air pollution in India is construction debris, which is an outcome of construction and demolition activities. Around 10,750 tons of construction waste is generated in Delhi every year, adding dust particles in atmosphere. Delhi is not the only city with these bizarre levels of emissions. Mumbai and Chennai also followed the same trail. Well, Delhi is landlocked, unlike Mumbai or Chennai, depriving it the advantages of sea breeze blowing away pollutants. Wind from the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea move into the country upwards, dispersing a lot of polluting particles that are emitted by all the other cities and carry all of them towards the northern states, where they meet Himalayas, acting as a barrier. These winds carry pollution dust, not only from Thar but Middle East and beyond. In winters, cold mountain air arrives beneath the warm lowland layer that creates a kind of vault over the city. All the smoke from stubble burning rises up and is pushed towards Delhi by the mountain air. The warm air keeps the pollution trapped on the ground with nowhere to go. So when stubble fire arrives in Delhi, it mixes with all the pollution and dust, forming a toxic smoke that sits on the top of the city. Stubble burning is a seasonal activity, which counts to nothing in comparison of other polluting factors, but mixed with the pollution emitted the whole year and topological factors, welcoming winters becomes a deadly carnival of pollution in North India.